Thoughts in a Garden by Andrew Marvell. Today, we shall do the analysis of the first four stanzas. How vainly men themselves amaze to win the palm, the oak or bays, and their incessant labour see crowned from some single herb or tree, whose short and narrow versed shade does prudently their toils upbraid, while all flowers and all trees do close to weave the garlands of repose. How futile are the endeavours of men by means of which they simply go crazy in order to win a crown of the leaves of a palm tree or an oak tree or a laurel tree for their military or civic or poetic achievements. Now, here, the palm tree, the oak, and the bay or laurel tree are all have special significance in classical traditions. We can see that the palm tree represents military honors, the oak tree represents political honors, and the laurel tree represents the poetic honors. So here, the poet says that the people perform unceasing or endless labors in order to obtain a crown of leaves from a single tree or herb. The short and ever narrowing shades of these trees wisely rebuke such men for their hard labors, while all flowers and all trees act unitedly to weave garlands with their shades. These garlands being the garlands of rest and tranquility, and therefore far superior to the garlands or crowns of leaves which those men seek. The poet says that the natural world has better things to offer than man-made world. Stanza 2. Fair quiet, have I found thee here, and innocence thy sister dear. Mistaken long, I sought you then in busy companies of men. Your sacred plants, if here below, only among the plants will grow. Society is all but rude to this delicious solitude. Fair quiet, I have found you here in this garden, and I have found here your dear sister Innocence also. For a long time, I made the mistake of seeking you both in the company of busy men. But, if at all, your sacred plants grow here on the earth, they grow only among the plants of a garden and not in places crowded with human beings. The company of human beings is nothing but barbarous as compared with the enjoyable solitude in the garden. So the poet says that society can't be compared to being alone in nature. He enjoys the solitude of nature. Stanza 3. No white nor red was ever seen, so amorous as this lovely green. Fond lovers, cruel as they flame, cut in these trees their mistress' name. Little, alas, they know or heed how far these beauties hers exceed. Fair trees, wheresoever your barks I've wound, no name shall but your own be found. Neither the whiteness of the complexion nor the redness of the lips of ladies has ever been known to be so loving as the lovely green color of the plants and leaves in a garden. Doting lovers who are as cruel in their actions as the flame of love which torments them, show their cruelty by carving the names of their sweethearts with knives on the barks of trees. It is regrettable that either these lovers are not quite aware of or they do not pay enough attention to the fact that the beauties of a garden are far more attractive than the beauties of their ladies. So far as I am concerned, O fair trees, wherever I happen to make use of a knife to cut into your barks, I shall carve no woman's name there, but only your own name. Stanza 4. When we have run our passion's heat, love hither makes his best retreat. The gods that mortal beauty chase, still in a tree did end their race. Apollo hunted Daphne so, only that she might laurel grow, and Pan did after Syrinx speed, not as a nymph but for a reed. When our love has run its course, and our passion has been exhausted, we can withdraw into a garden for rest and refreshment. Or, when Cupid, the god of love, is not actively at work to people fall in love, he withdraws into a garden for relaxation. The gods who run after earthly women, whom they think beautiful, find that their chase has ended in their getting hold of trees instead of women. For instance, God Apollo ran after the nymph Daphne not in order that he should hold the laurel tree into which Daphne was to be transformed. Similarly, God Pan hotly pursued the nymph Syrinx not in order to satisfy his lust, but because he wanted to get hold of a reed into which that nymph was to be metamorphosed. Now, here is the reference to a mythological story which involves men like Apollo and Pan, the gods, who fall madly in love with the nymphs Daphne and Syrinx. The men chase the women all over the woods and are about to catch them when river gods decide to save them by turning the nymphs into plants. Daphne becomes the laurel tree and Syrinx becomes a reed. Hence, the race of the gods ends in trees. We shall do the next part in the other video.